Okay, this is day 3, the review. This is video A. A boat is traveling at a constant speed in 10 hours. Or in 10 hours, the boat travels 160 miles. How many hours will it take for the boat to travel 24 miles? This is a two-part question, really. You got to figure out how fast the boat is traveling. So, this helps us do that. We know from our dirt pyramid that the boat is traveling 160 miles at a rate in 10 hours. So to do that, you would divide 160 divided by 10, gives you 16 miles per hour. So we have 16 miles in every 1 hour. That equals how long to go 24 miles. That's our question. So if you crisscross divide here, makes it a lot easier. 1 times 24 equals 24. 24 divided by 16 is going to equal 1.5, I believe. 8/16, which is 1 1/2. So the answer is 1 1/2 hours. The car is traveling 227.5 miles in 3.5 hours. Find the speed of the car. Okay. So we know that it went 227.5 miles in 3.5 hours. So we would divide 227.5 divided by the time of 3.5 hours. And if you did that correctly, it comes out to be 65 miles per hour. Okay, a bird flies by 3 houses. Houses A and B are 30 feet apart. Houses B and C are 90 feet apart. It takes the bird 1.2 seconds to fly from house A to house B and 2.8 seconds to fly from house B to house C. What is the bird's average speed? Show your work. Okay. Average speed means total distance divided by total time. So we would have 30 feet plus 90 feet. That's going to give us our total distance. Divide that by the total time, which is 1.2 plus 2.8, and you're going to get 120 feet in 4 seconds, which then breaks down to 30 feet per 1 second. Then goes apples picking. I think it's apple picking. Anyways, she picks 48 apples in 2 hours. At what rate is Lynn picking apples? They're asking for the apples per hour. That's the rate. So 48 apples in 2 hours equals, you would divide both by 2, and you get 24 apples per 1 hour. A machine makes 648 crackers in 8 minutes. At what rate can the machine make crackers? Same thing, we're trying to find the crackers per minute. 648 crackers in 8 minutes equals how many crackers in 1 minute? And if you divided that out correctly, it's going to become 81. Table shows the cost of some nuts at different stores. Complete the table. Which nut costs the most per pound? Okay, so we would do 36 divided by, gives us per pound. 15 divided by 3 gives us $5 per pound. And 22 divided by 4 gives us $5.50 per pound. My suggestion when you do these every single time is to write it out and then immediately throw the 2 zeros in there, just so that you know that you might have to use them. Like this one, 4 goes into 22 5 times. You get 20, and you get 2 left over, bring down your 0, and we get 5 again. You get 0, 0, so that becomes a 0. Again, anytime you see dollars, throw your decimal point in there and put 2 zeros after it, just so that you remember to do it correctly. Okay, Harmony ran around the 250-meter track 4 times. The first 2 times took her 10 minutes. The last 2 times took her 14. Find Harmony's average speed. Remember, it's total distance, so it's 250 times 4 over the total time, which is 10 and 14. You end up getting 1,000 meters divided by 24 minutes. And if you divided that out correctly, 24 goes into 1,000, 41 and 2/3 meters per 1 minute. Okay, a walker walks by 3 trees, it should say. It takes her 120 seconds to walk from tree A to tree B, total of 120 meters. It takes her 40 seconds to walk from B to C, distance of 100 meters. What is her average speed? Again, you're doing total distance, which is going to be 120 meters plus 100 meters divided by total time, which is 120 seconds, plus 40 seconds. You get 220 meters in 160 seconds. And if you divided that out correctly, it would equal 1 3/8 meters per 1 second. Okay, Arnie scored 34 points in 16 soccer games. Maria scored 18 points in 15 soccer games. Who scored more points per game? Show your work. So this is a 2-part, obviously. You got 34 points in 16 games. If you reduce that or make it into a mixed number, it's going to be 2 1/8 points per 1 game. Do the same thing with Maria. We have 18 points in 15 games. Change that to a mixed number, and you get 1 3/15, which is 1 1/5 points per 1 game. So you got to answer who scored more points per game. Well, this is Arnie, and this is Maria, and the answer is Arnie. Oh, there it is. Margaret earned $325 in 7 hours. Josh earned $400 in 13 hours. Who earns more money per hour? Round your answer to the nearest cent. Show your work. Again, make sure that you add those decimals. So it's going to be $325 per 7 hours. It's going to be equivalent to how much of an hourly rate? This one will be $400 for 13 hours. Set that equal to 1 hour because we're trying to find the hourly rate. And then you can crisscross divide, which is going to be 325 divided by 7. So we go over here and we say, okay, 7 goes into 32 4 times. I get 45 left over. 7 goes into 42 6 times. Bring up my decimal. We get 42. Get 3. Bring down my 0. 7 goes into 30 4 times. And it's going to keep going on and on and on. We find the number that we're rounding to. We look to the right. That 4. 5 or more raise the score, 4 or less let it rest. It's going to be $46.44 per hour. This one is going to be 3, you get 39. Doesn't go into 10, so it's 0. Add our decimals. Goes into 100. Ooh, 9 times maybe? 8 times? 7 times? Let's try 7. 1, 2, 9. Get 90 left over. 6. 28. It's going to be like a 2. Okay, I made a mistake in there. 6 times this is going to be 78. And you're going to end up with 180. And that's going to be a 9. Nine, 10, 11. I'm going to pause it and just redo it, so check out the work in a second. Okay, I was making some silly errors there, so I just redid the whole thing and got to this point, and I said, how many times does 13 go into 90? And it's 6 times, and you get 78, and then you have 12 left over, bring down the extra 0. So this would be $30.77. Who earns more money per hour? The answer is Margaret. I'm actually going to backtrack and make sure that I answered one of the questions in the back. So bear with me. It says which nut costs more per pound here, and that's going to be almond. That's it. I hope you guys have a good night. Take it easy.